everybody. I'm Laura from Move Wellness in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And what I have for you today is a Pilates level 2 workout. It's going to be about a 23 minute level 2 workout. So you want to always remember to work at your own pace. If anything starts to become uncomfortable or painful, stop. And if anything, the doctor told you not to do something, don't do it. This is level 2, so we'll be taking you through the basic Pilates repertoire, about 20 minutes worth. So join me by first coming to your back. And I want you to just first bring your palms to the floor. You're going to be looking straight up at the ceiling too. So try as little as you can to turn your head side to side. So we're looking straight up at the ceiling as you bring your feet to the floor. Your palms are down. Now press the backs of the arms into the floor and just feel that back chain, that back part of your body start to engage as you press your shoulders down. Now I want you to tilt your tailbone so you're rolling your tailbone towards the ceiling. And we're going to start to lift the hips all the way up, but I want you to articulate your spine. So we're going to lower down like you're melding into the mat. Your low back and then hips finally touch down. And let's do that again. So you're going to peel up off the floor just like you're like a piece of tape peeling up off the floor. You're pressing those heels down into the floor and rolling your tailbone to the ceiling in one vertebra at a time until you're all the way at the top. Now take a big inhale right here. And then lower back down, melting that bottom rib down, and then each vertebra one at a time. In that low back where we tend to have a lot of stiffness, roll through that. And we'll do that one more time. Lifting the tailbone to the ceiling first, rolling up, pressing the backs of the arms into the floor, and lift the hips to the ceiling. Hold the hips lifted. Now just activate those glutes here for a second. Pressing your heels into the floor and just feel that nice back activation. Let's roll down, all the way down until your tail touches all the way down to the floor. Let's bring both knees in towards your chest. Your hands are going to be on the tops of the shins, and raise your shoulders up off the floor just as small as you can get. And we're going to lower down. Bring those feet to the floor, and let's roll over to one side, and we're going to come all the way to a cat stretch. So your hands are under your shoulders, and your knees are under your hips. I want you to roll your tailbone towards your heels first, and then round your back to the ceiling. Drop your head, look at your knees, and then uncurl. And we're going to end in a nice lengthened spine. So while we're here, look down at your fingertips. Now I want you to shrug your shoulders together so that pretend you're squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades, and then open the shoulder blades apart. This is a protraction, retraction, and just to get ready for the moves that we're going to be doing, we want to have that nice gliding sensation of your shoulder blades along the ribs in the back. And if you tend to get a little sticky in the shoulder girdle, this movement should be nice and smooth and fluid. Now come to that protracted position and press the heels of your hands into the floor and even start to drag them back towards your knees. We're going to leave your left hand on the floor and take your right arm out to the side like a T and just hold that and feel what happened to your body for that arm to stay out there like that. Now I want you to sweep the arm under and then out to the side and reach it up to the ceiling. Look at that hand up there, out to the side and bring it back down, through and out to the side and up to the ceiling, and out and sweep it under, and out and lift it up. We're going to lower that hand to the floor and just go to the other side. So let's bring the arm out to the side like a T, sweep it under, out to the side and up to the ceiling, out to the side and sweep it under, out to the side, reach it up. You're pressing this bottom hand into the floor as that arm reaches up and rotate in the spine. Now place that hand on the floor. So we're going to draw your belly away from the floor towards your spine, reaching your sit bones towards that back wall. Take your left leg, reach that leg out long, and the right arm is going to reach away from it. Lift the arm and leg both, keeping the hips level, and then lower that hand, lower the toe, and bring it back in. Switch sides, reach it out, and lift. We're going to exhale to lift, inhale, and then bring it back in. Let's do it again. Reach it out, and lift, and lower, and bring it back in. Let's do it again. Reach it out, and lift, and lower, and in. One more time each side. Reach out, and lift, inhale, bring it in. Last one. Reach it out and lift and lower and bring it all the way in. Good. We're going to turn and sit. So your feet are on the floor, hip width apart. You're sitting nice and tall on your sit bones. Place your hands on the backs of the thighs. We're going to roll your tailbone under, creating space between the front of the hips and the thighs. Hold that right there. Think of reaching your low back to the floor. Now let go of your thighs one at a time. Reach the arms long, lower your shoulders. We're going to slowly work our way to the floor. Ever so slowly, reaching your low back to the floor first. Scoop out, reach your tailbone towards the ceiling, reach your sit bones towards the backs of the knees. We're slowly working our way down to the floor. Your head touches down, and we're going to bring our arms down by our side. Let's bring your knees towards your chest again. I want you to place your hands behind your head. And we're going to lift our shoulders up off the floor. So just keep those shoulders lifted. Let your head become heavy. Hold the shoulders lifted. The tip of your shoulder blades, it's all that's on the floor. Now we're going to rotate to one side. Squeeze those thighs together. Bring it to the center. Rotate to the other side. Bring it to the center. Now lower those shoulders down. Let's do that again. Lift. Your shoulder blades are just barely touching the floor. And then switch. Bring it to the center. Switch. Bring it to the center. Let's lower down. We're going to do that again. Lift the shoulders up. Let the head press into the hands. Rotate to one side. And bring it to the center and switch. Bring it to the center. Lower down. We have one more. So reach the shoulders across to the opposite knee. Come to the center. Switch. Come to the center. Lower everything down. Let's hug those knees into the chest for just a second here. And we're going to come back up again. So lift your shoulders up off the floor. Your hands are on the backs of the thighs this time. Give yourself a little bit of a lift. And then let go of the arms. And the arms are going to reach by your thighs. And we're going to start to pump the arms. So here's your 100. You're lowering your low back, pressing it into the floor. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Straighten those legs if you want. And exhale. Make sure you feel your low back on the floor. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start to take the legs to an angle. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep those shoulders lifted away from the floor. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 70. Exhale. Lift a little higher in the shoulders. Look between your thighs. 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 90. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. And 100. 2, 3, 4, 5. I want you to slow those pumps way down. Slow, slow. Hold it, lift a little higher, bring your knees in towards your chest, lower your feet to the floor, palms on the floor, and let's just lift your hips up off the floor. So we're just reaching the hips up. Think of the front of your hips are open, and now press your right heel into the floor, and we are going to lift your left heel off the floor, and then start to hover that leg off. Making sure both hips are staying level. Lower that foot back down and just switch sides. So left heel's pressing down. Hips are staying level. You can place your hands on your hips to make sure. And that right knee reaches to the ceiling. And lower down. Let's switch again. Left leg lifts. Lower it back down. Right leg lifts. Lower it back down. One more time each side. Just start to march it out here. Lower that foot. Here's your last one. And lower it down. We're going to melt the spine back into the floor. Reach it out. Lengthen out both legs. And let's flex our feet this time so the legs are together. Bring your arms to the ceiling. I want you to nod your chin. Reach your hands towards your toes, and we are peeling up off the floor now. Reach over. Pretend there's a ball sitting on your lap. You're reaching over that ball. Keep the spine rounded. Roll your tail under, scoop out. We're connecting into the floor, one vertebra at a time. Lowering down, reach your arms to the ceiling, nod your chin. Exhale, roll up. Reaching towards your toes, keeping those shoulders soft. And roll back, connecting into the mat, one vertebra at a time. Reaching your arms to the ceiling. Once your head touches down, we're going to go right back up again. Exhale. Reach over. Last one. This is your last roll down. Come all the way down. And then we'll bring our knees up off the floor. Let's cross our ankles. Your knees are going to stay bent. We move to the center of the mat. Your ankles are crossed. Your palms are on the floor. And I just want you to use your abs to lift your hips up off the floor and then lower them back down. Now you should not feel any tension in your shoulders. Your shoulders should be relaxed. Draw your hands down towards the end of the mat. And use your abs to just lift the hips up off the floor and then lower back down. Let's do that 2 more times. Lift and lower without using any momentum. So we're not starting to sling the legs up. It's nice and slow and controlled. Exhale, lower down. Let's just switch the ankles and do 4 more. So here we go, 4. Lifting the hips up off the floor. Your knees are bent, your ankles are crossed. And after we do 2 more right here, keeping the neck long, here's your last one. And bring it down. Let's bring those feet to the floor. Now I want you to bring your knees towards your chest again. Place your hands on your right knee and stretch that left leg out long. So we're just going to switch and switch. We're going to start to lift our shoulders up off the floor. And you're just going to tap the knee with your hands, that knee that comes in. Now stretch the outside hand towards the ankle and get into that rhythm, a little bit of coordination here. Tap and switch and switch and switch. Let's go 4 more switches. And 3 and 2 and 1. Keep the legs right where they're at. We're just going to change our arms and we start to rotate towards that opposite knee. Reaching the leg out long and stop and switch and hold and hold. So don't start to come into like a bicycle situation here. Reach the legs out and stop and switch and switch. 2 more. Last one. Bring both legs straight. Now they're going to be a nice big scissor here. And then switch. So legs are straight and you're just bringing one towards your body and the other leg reaches towards the floor as long as you can get it. Let's pump it twice. Pump, pump, and switch. Pump, pump, and switch. Reach high up on that leg. It doesn't matter if the legs are bent. They can be bent. You're going to lengthen as much as you can. Pump, pump, switch. Last 2. Last 1. Now both knee comes into your chest and reach the arms and legs out opposite direction and bring it back in. Keep your low back flat on the floor. Let's exhale. Inhale in. 3 more. Inhale in. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Shoulders lifted. Bring it in. I want you to hold it bring it to as tight a ball as you can and lower the shoulders all the way down. Bring your feet to the floor. Let's roll over to your front. And you're going to come to your elbows. Now your elbows are on the mat, digging into the mat, and your hands are in a parallel position. Palms facing each other, so your thumbs are up. Now press those elbows into the floor. Bring the legs together as close as what's comfortable. So if you need to have those legs apart, if there's any uncomfortable situation for your back, try bringing the legs apart a little bit. Now reach out long, long, long through the legs. Keep them together if they're together. Lift the belly button away from the floor. Now hover your thigh bone, your right thigh bone off the floor. Now kick yourself in the seat twice. 1, 2. Straighten that leg out. Lift your left thigh bone off the floor. Now kick yourself twice. 1, 2. And straighten it out. And again. 1, 2. Straighten it again. So when you're doing these kicks, you're going to dig your elbows into the mat and try to drag yourself forward. Open up your sternum. 1, 2. Straighten it out. 1, 2. See if you can keep the tops of your feet off the floor. Squeeze those legs together. Kick, kick. 1, 2. Last set right here. Kick, kick each side. 1, 2. Last one. 1, 2. And bring it all the way down. And let's bring your arms down by your side. Your thumbs are facing down. Legs are still together unless you need to have them apart if it's uncomfortable in your low back. Reach the arms long. Now just squeeze your shoulder blades together to shine your sternum forward. And then lower the shoulders back down. Let's do that again. Lift. Shine the sternum forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Legs squeezing together. Lower everything down. Lift again. Squeeze. Lift. And down. 2 more. Lift. Shine the sternum forward. Lift the arms. Squeeze the legs together. Here's your last one. Pressing the hips down into the floor. Lift the arms. Lift the sternum. Shine it forward. Come all the way down. Let's slide your hands under your shoulders and sit back on your heels. All the way back. Reach your hands towards the end of the mat. Round your belly button away from your thighs. And we'll come all the way down. Again. So now this time your arms are straight, your legs are straight. Legs are together. And let's just lift one leg in the opposite arm. Lower that down and switch sides. Lower and switch. Lower and switch. Drawing your shoulder blades down your back. Drawing those armpits down your sides into your side pockets. And lift opposite arm and leg. Now arm and leg is both going to hover off the floor. Draw that belly button away from the floor, and I want you to start to flutter the arms and legs. You're still looking down. Nice long back of the neck. Your eyes are glancing at the floor. Your glutes are turned on. Flutter the arms. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Now reach long, long, long and lower everything down. Nice work. Let's come all the way up to your hands and knees again. We're going to round our back to the ceiling. Look at your knees and then uncurl. Nice lengthened spine. And let's turn and sit. So we're going to reach our legs wide. So they're about as wide as your mat here. We're going to bring our arms open and rotate to one side, keeping this opposite hip on the floor so we shouldn't see any daylight under that hip. Reach that hand across towards the opposite ankle. Reach this back arm towards the back wall. Reach fingertip to fingertip. Now as we come up, you're going to stay, turn, stay, turn, stay, turn until you're all the way up, and then go to the other side. Reach the arms away from each other, fingertip to fingertip, stretching out. And as you stack your spine, you're going to stay, turn until you're all the way up, and then go to the other side. Exhale across. And then come up, stay on your rotation, and then come all the way to the center, over to the other side. Fingertip to fingertip, reach this back arm long. Use that back arm to draw you up. Stacking your spine. Here's your last one, each side. Reach over your toes. Nice rotation in your spine. And some flexion as you come all the way up out of that. And then go to the other side. Here's your last one. Reach out. Back arm reaching long. Stack your spine. Come all the way to the center. Good. Let's bring it forward. We're going to do open leg rocker, or the beginning of. So your hands in the backs of the thighs, your feet are wide. And I want you to roll the pelvis away from the thighs first. Just get that nice curve in your low back. Let's see if we can go ahead and roll back and come back up. Maybe the legs are going to stay bent, or maybe you're going to start to straighten out the legs. Legs are wide. Lengthen your spine. Now curl the tail under, create space between the front of the pelvis and the thighs, and then roll back up with nice and control. Lengthen your chest. Roll back again. And all the way up. And let's go 2 more. Bending those knees if you need to. Hands on the backs of the thighs. The feet are wide is where we want to be here. The legs wide. And up. Pause here with control. Bring the legs together. Let's go to the side. So I want you to start with your knees together. Your hands are on the floor to the side. The closer your hands, the harder. So if we take the hands further away, it's going to be a little bit less difficult. You're going to open this top knee. Open. Now slide this bottom ankle so it touches that front leg. I want you to lift up strong in this, out of this hand that's on the floor. You're pressing it down, but you're lifting away from the hand. Now, top hand on your knee. All I want you to do to start is just lift your hips up off the floor and lower down. Make sure that we are comfortable and steady and strong here. Lift the hips up and lower down. Let's go all the way up this time. Up. And then we come down with control. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. One more. Up. You're bringing that back foot behind the front as you come up. Nice work. Let's go to the other side. So start in this stacked knee position. Open up the top knee. Your hand is away from your hip. Closer, more difficult. So if it's out there, it's just a little bit easier. That top knee is going to come open, and then bring this bottom ankle close to that front ankle. Top arm, palm facing up. Press into the floor, lift out of the floor, pressing the heel of your hand down. Now lift your hips to the ceiling, up, and keeping your hips and shoulders stacked and squared up with each other. So we're not doing any rotation yet. You're just lifting your hips to the ceiling, side bend, and bring it back down. Let's inhale to lift. Exhale to come down. Let's do it one more time. What the heck? Lift up strong in the shoulders first. Up and over. Inhale. Exhale. Down. Good. And come all the way up. Let's bring your legs out front. And you're going to reach your arms forward. And let's do a spine stretch. So nod your chin. Reach out long towards your toes. Then use the abs to draw your waist bend towards that back wall first. And then stack your spine. 2 more of these. Reach the arms long. Use your abs to draw the spine back. Stack it up against the wall. Head is the last thing to lift. Here's your last one. Reach. Arms are staying parallel to the floor. And then come back up. Good. And bring the arms down. Let's do a, we're going to come back to your front. And your hands are going to be a little wider this time. And your toes are going to be wide, reaching towards the corners of the mat. Hands down, looking down at the floor. So we're going to roll the nose forward, keeping the back of the neck long, and shine the sternum forward and straighten out the arms as far as comfortable for you. And let's lower back down. And we're going to do that again. Lift. Now drop the shoulders down away from your ears, and let's come back down. Let's go one more. Now think of this nice curved shape, this extension in your spine. No dumping into the low back, so if you feel any uncomfortable situation there, lower your elbows. And so if the arms are straight, we're going to lower the chest towards the floor, and the legs are going to lift because you've created a shape like the bottom of a rocking chair. Really turn those glutes on to lift the toes as your chest lowers. Bring it down. Chest lowers and lift. Turn on those glutes. Turn on your seat and lift and down and lift. And it's an exhale here. Inhale up. Last one. Inhale up. Lower everything down. Slide your hands in close. Sit back for a little counter stretch. Sitting back on your heels. Reach your arms towards the end of the mat. Lower your head. And all the way up. And so that's it. That was a level 2 Pilates. Thanks for joining us. I'm Laura from Move Wellness in Ann Arbor.